Hello, our names are Naja, Aaliyah, Christian, and Trey, and we're working with MapSquare in the Bronzeville neighborhood. We are partnering with nonprofit organization Centers for New Horizons to conduct public health research in the Grand Boulevard Bronzeville community.
Here we go, fellas. Let's go to work. This is a one, two, a one, two, three.
Bronzeville, located on Chicago's south side, was once called a black metropolis as it was a hub for music and culture. The community, named after the bronze-colored skin of its people, is 93% black and has a median household income of $25,151.
At our community-based organization, Centers for New Horizons Bronzeville, we studied the relationship between mental health resources in the community. We hypothesized that this relationship will show inadequate quantities and utilization of mental health resources contributing to high levels of mental distress in the community. We believe that this relationship exists as a result of government neglect, mental health stigma, and a lack of knowledge about the few resources that are available.
From our research, we noticed that availability of resources affects the community's ability to prosper. Both the Bronzeville and South Shore communities are majority black with a similar median household income. Uncoincidentally, both communities suffer from a lack of mental health resources and stigma surrounding existing resources. Contrarily, Lincoln Park, a predominantly white neighborhood, has a significantly higher rate of mental health resources. These type of resource disparities undoubtedly affect the mental well-being and prosperity of community members.
Another reason that members of the Bronzeville community suffer relatively is because of high levels of untreated mental illness, and is that mental health stigma is extremely difficult to talk about in the Bronzeville and black communities. Stigma forces people to hide their illness, making it more difficult for them to seek help.
What's happening is not natural in our communities. Parents burying their children, the violence that's taking place in our community. A lot of us suffer from PTSD, and it's not being addressed.
Historically, racism has been an undeniable factor in the lack of access to, lack of awareness around, and stigma around mental health services in Bronzeville. As previously stated, Bronzeville was once known for its booming economy and was the center of African American business and culture. However, over time, it suffered from economic decline. This image shows the difference between the rich architecture common in the early 20th century Bronzeville compared to the less structural and visually appealing neighborhood today.
Many residents moved away due to struggles with housing and transportation as a result of historically racist practices. One example of this was the establishment of legally binding contracts that prevented homeowners from selling to black people. This practice forced African Americans to live solely in one location, which led to overpopulation. Public housing was then constructed to combat overpopulation. However, these public housing projects were then demolished and displaced hundreds of black families in a city that would not sell houses to them. The stress from housing instability contributed negatively to the mental health of Bronzeville's black residents.
We believe a community center will improve the relationship between mental health resources and the Bronzeville community. This is because we believe a community center will destigmatize mental health issues through education, and community members will be informed about existing mental health resources within their community, while providing a physical space for a variety of resources, such as recreational facilities, art classes, and other job programming that community members can access for free.
Our new Bronzeville Community Center will offer counseling, GED classes, and career classes, as well as fun activities like arts, swimming, yoga, and sports with court space. It'll be free, and we strive to raise money for the community. The only exception is that you must first attend a 1-hour mental health class or counseling session. In an effort to encourage participation of the destigmatizing of mental health services before accessing all the parts of the community.
Having community centers improves the mental health and wellness of residents by creating a safer environment while also reducing strain on healthcare facilities. This, in turn, boosts the economy and overall economic development of the neighborhood, ultimately benefiting the mental welfare of its residents.
We chose a vacant lot near 51st and Calumet by Boxville. We chose this location because the center will be safe and accessible due to the nearby trains and bus stations. Additionally, the area is filled with a lot of local businesses which would benefit from the foot traffic.
Our funding will come from a partnership with the University of Chicago Hospital because they have the necessary resources to fund a community center and are required to invest money in the community because of the hospital's nonprofit status. This is a perfect funding opportunity because UChicago will be giving back to Bronzeville by investing in the community.
In conclusion, our hypothesis that the relationship between mental health resources in Bronzeville was inadequate proved to be accurate due to our survey responses, lack of resources shown from our mapping this summer, and our research about the community. So, we believe our community center solution would help all Bronzeville residents. This is because the community center would be free to residents, stimulate the economy, and provide the tools necessary for people to seek out mental health and lower the stigma surrounding it. We wouldn't have been able to do this project without the help of Ms. Shirley and the Center for New Horizons, After School Matters, MAPS Corps, and our field coordinators Sarah, Jordan, Vanessa, and Glenn. Thank you for the experience, and thank you listeners for your time.